Yes, exactly.
To continue the theme of riotous retirement, I'll be back with Advice Shop on Wednesday at 5:30 on BBC2, as will these solid citizens. And that's all for this week. I hope you can join me again next Friday after the film, and as I promised, here's the address for your letters and that leaflet on help with storm damage. Bye-bye for now.
But Philip, you've been in my studio. Why can't I come down to yours? We could do the Going Live trail from there. Yeah? Good. Right, well, I will see you after news round then. Ta-ra, mate. Good afternoon, how are you? It's Friday and the weekend's just around the corner. Just having a natter with Philip, so we'll probably be going down to Studio 7 later. Yes! The word of the day today comes from me. And today's word of the day is chaotic. Because that's how Children's BBC has been today. We've been trying to sort out stuff from the caption competition. We've been writing the Children's BBC News. I've been charging around like a mad thing. I'm looking forward to the afternoons. It's the only relaxing part of the day there is. And the afternoon today looks like this. We start with corners in a moment. There's SuperTed at 4:05. What's all this then at 4:15 with Steve Blacknell, special guests, then Jericho. 5 to 5 there's news round. We go down to Studio 7 after that. And then at 5:05 this afternoon, there's Grange Hill. That's how Friday afternoon lines up, and we start with this.
Clock has stopped. Hey, has anyone got the time?
15:56.
Or 4 minutes to 4. Hiya. Those are two different ways of telling the time. One is the 12-hour clock way, in which you go 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, all the way up to 12 o'clock midday. But then you start all over again, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and so on. And the other way is the 24-hour clock way. You start off the same, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, all the way to 12 o'clock midday. But then you carry on up to 24. So you go 12, 13, 14, 15, and in this case, 15:56, or 4 minutes to 4. Get it? Could you tell the time with what's in the mystery corner, though? Um, 11 o'clock. Well, it's a little bit slow. Not surprising, really. This is called a King Alfred's clock because it was used, first of all, by King Alfred over 1,000 years ago. It's your basic candle, but it's got these different markings on it. And they worked out that it took an hour for the candle to melt between one mark and the next. So you get up in the morning in your castle, light your clock, it would burn throughout the day, and you could look at it and see how much it burnt down and tell what the time was. Good, isn't it? But do you know what's going to happen to all the clocks in the country this weekend? Do you? Ha-ha! All the clocks are going to be put back an hour. Oh, yes, you are. Now, Kay Meddings from London wants to know why. Well, it's all to do with the amount of actual daylight there is in a day. You see, in the summer months, there's quite a bit of it. But as we come near to winter, the amount of daylight gets less and less and less. And if we carried on the way we were at the moment, we'd end up going to school and to work in the dark. So one Sunday in October, everybody puts their clocks back an hour, and it works out that we end up with more daylight in the mornings, which is a good thing. Now, in next March, when we're coming towards summer again, we'll put the clocks forward to compensate for it. So next Sunday, watch out. If you think it's going to be 8 o'clock, you'll get up. It will, in fact, be 7 o'clock. There you are. And watch out as well for town clocks and church clocks, because it takes a couple of days for them to adjust, and they could tell you the wrong time.
Hey, Simon, what time is it when an elephant sits on your clock? Time to get a new clock.
623,
624. David Cramphorn, 625, wants to know, 626, how many hairs are on my head? 627. Oh, well. There's about 100,000 hairs on somebody with brown hair, a few more on somebody with blonde hair, and a few less on somebody with red hair. But what I want to know is who counted them all, because it's practically impossible if you ask me. 620. Oh dear, I've lost count. Right, another hairy question from Alison Mary Reed, and she wants to know, why does your hair go grey or white when you grow old? Well, a piece of hair is in fact a colourless tube. Now that's a bit difficult to see. So here's a big version. And it's filled with colouring from the roots. And as you grow old, the colour supply dries up. And it becomes a colourless tube, which looks white. And a mixture of colourless hairs and brown or black hairs looks grey. Now here's a question from Nigel Meek and Wayne Saggers, and they want to know, how long would hair grow if you never cut it? And Wayne wants to know, how long would his hair be? And he's 8 years old. Well, how long does hair grow? Vivian, Gary and Kelly were hanging around. Are you all right, Gary? Your hair is 7 centimetres. And we'll measure Vivian's hair. Right to the head, right to the end of the longest hair, and that's 28 centimetres long. Now I'm going to measure your hair, Kelly. And I put the tape measure right up to the top where it's growing. Catch the end there. And my word, 48 centimetres long your hair is. Did you know that? Now, if Kelly's hair is 48 centimetres and she's 8 years old, then that must mean that she's been growing her hair, it's grown at a rate of 0.5 centimetre a month. And it says here that hair grows up to 1 centimetre a month, and that depends on your age or how healthy you are, or even what the weather's like. And so a funny thought is that Wayne's hair would be twice as long as Kelly's if he hadn't had it cut, which is quite a funny thought, but it wouldn't be as long as Georgia Sobrantke's hair. She's got the longest hair in the world, and that is 3 metres long. Now, how long would that be? So, Kelly, I'd like you to hold the tape measure on Gary's head like this, and Vivian, I'd like you to take this, and when I say stop, that's how long the longest woman's hair is. If you take that end and walk backwards with it. Longer, longer, and even longer. That is the length of the longest woman's hair. That is just over 3 metres.
Try brushing that lot, Gary. Mind you, I'm having problems enough with this lot. Oh, how embarrassing. Oh dear.
Hang on, one from Amy Griffiths. Why do we have to go to bed? Oh, it's quite interesting. I am not tired at 10 o'clock, and why do we have to go to sleep in a bed? Why not on the floor? I do not need any rest anyway. Oh, well, I don't know what to say, Amy. Have a word with your mum. When I have to... Hello?
Excuse me, can somebody else have a go at this one, please? Because you're obviously stumped.
Well, no, I'm just...
Oh, yeah. My name is Brick, and I am the man on the street, right? Partly because I haven't got anywhere else to live, so that's where I have to live. But mostly because I knows everything there is to know in the whole wide world. True. Now, Amy, your letter. Why do you have to go to bed before 10 o'clock? Why do you have to sleep in a bed? And you're not bleeming tired anyway, right? Amy, I knows where you're coming from. I knows what you means, right? Thing is, parents are really funny creatures, right? Sometimes they knows everything, and sometimes they don't know nothing at all, and they're blimmin' hopeless. But the thing is, because they're about 1 million years old, right, they have the benefit of experience, which means that they knows that at night time, your body, right, it has a rest, you see, and it recharges itself with energy. True, and all your heart and your muscles and all your bits, right, they has a break, and all that helps you grow. It does. And also, if you didn't, right, the next day you wouldn't have any energy to do all those important things in life, like playing. Do you know what I mean? And if you didn't sleep on a mattress, right, you get a bad back. I know, because I used to sleep on the floor, and it's bad news. So if you don't want yours, send it in to me, and I'll have it. All right? And that's it. Yeah, over to you, fish face.
Thank you.
Ah! Football! Oh! Over to you! Oh, God, sit there.
Goal! Why do boys always play football and girls are not allowed to play in the FA Cup? I don't think it's fair. From Claire Arthurs and Karen McAnulty. Well, the good news is that girls can play football, and quite a lot of them do. There's already a lot of girls' teams and mixed teams in schools, and in England there are 225 teams divided into 21 leagues with 6,000 registered players. So, if you're a keen footballer like Karen and Claire and me, then what you should do is write to the Women's Football Association. Write into Corners and we'll give you the address. And Claire and Karen should get in touch with the Northern Ireland branch in Antrim, and they'll put you in touch with your local team. So there's no age restriction, so if you're keen enough, you can play. And times have certainly changed, because when I used to play for my church choir team, I used to have to pretend to be a boy, and they called me Sam. Mind you, I did have short hair at the time. But now, girls have even played on the sacred turf at Wembley, because earlier this year, the Millwall Lionesses played the Cincinnati Cardinals there. But the bad news is that girls still can't play in professional teams, and so wouldn't be allowed to play in the FA Cup. And that's because the boys think we'd be too weedy, which I don't think's very fair, do you? Joe, on your head, son.
Goal! Yippee! That's 2-0 to Sophie!
Yes, so we have no bananas. That's not very straight, is it? Now, Alison Cumper, aged 8.5, wants to know why bananas are a funny shape, and has there ever been a straight banana? Well, they're a funny shape because of the way that they're growing. This is a picture of a banana plant from the hot countries. Those are the bananas in there, the baby ones, and it's protected by these leaves here, and they start growing downwards towards the ground. But once the leaves start cooling up, it exposes them to the sunlight, and they change direction and grow upwards. There they are. And they start to become a curved shape. Now the flowers on the end of each banana are removed, and the bunches are covered in polythene to protect them from the insects and the storms so they don't get damaged. And that big pod-like thing there can be cooked and eaten as a vegetable. It's the stem of the plant. Now in each plant there's only one bunch, but there's about 200 bananas in that bunch. There's quite a few. They're supposed to be better if you pick them green and then allow them to ripen and then eat them when they're yellow. Now at the packing station they're cut into smaller bunches called hands and exported all over the world. Now the word banana comes from the Arabic banan, meaning slender fingers. And it's because they look like fingers on a hand. What do you think? Yes? Now Alison also wants to know, has there ever been a straight banana? Well, there are over 200 different varieties of bananas. Most are curvy. This is the straightest one we could find. What do you think? That's fairly straight, isn't it? But the overwhelming majority of them are curvy. Some are straight. Most end up straight in the mouth.
Now, any bubbles in these ice cubes? Because we've had a question from Mark and Nicola Hole, and they want to know why ice cubes have got bubbles in them. Well, here's a bubble. It's actually moving around, look. And what happens is that the air got trapped inside the water when it was freezing in the ice tray and formed bubbles.
Sophie?
Yes?
Sophie, I've got an ice cube puzzle here. Right, you can try this one. What you have to do is try and lift up 2 ice cubes with just 1 piece of string. Answer next week.
Impossible.
Well, you might need some salt.
Salt. Right.
So, if you've got any questions that you want investigating, or if you want to find out more about the Women's Football Association, write into us at Corners, BBC TV, London W12 8QT. And a few weeks ago on the programme we had a horse and we were looking at its hoof, and I wanted to know why a part of it was called a frog. And people have written in, some to say that it's because it looks like a frog, or because it looks like a frog's foot, or because it's rubbery and squidgy like a frog. But Elizabeth Southey has gone one better. She's got her dad to draw one for us. There's the foot, and that part in there is called a frog, and it does look like an aerial view of a frog, doesn't it, with the back and the legs. And talking about green, slimy, squidgy, horrible things, here's Joe.
Ignore him. Here's a puzzle, right? Have a look at these, and remember, it's dog, keys, pig, snake, chair, boots, flowers and hat. Keep remembering, all change. One's missing. Snake and keys. Did you get it? Bye-bye, cheerio.
Hold it. This is a stick-up. The children's BBC bandit here. Your money or your life. In fact, there are some real robbers in SuperTed today. It's called SuperTed and the Train Robbers.
This is a story about an ordinary teddy bear. When he was made, they found something wrong with him and threw him away like a piece of rubbish into an old dark storeroom. Then, from outer space, a spotty man brought him to life with his cosmic dust. He took him to a magic cloud where Mother Nature gave him special powers. That bear became SuperTed.